Hey everybody, great to see you. We're just hanging out here on a little drive where the amazing University of Central Florida will be playing Kansas State in Manhattan, Kansas. And I am on my way over there right now as a honored graduate from the great University of Central Florida. Go Knights. I'm hanging out with the little gentleman over there. Roger DeLeon is with us, everybody. And he is the focus of today's conversation, as it was his first time going to GSX, and we're going to cover that a little bit. I'm very excited. But I have a special guest. Well, I'm really his guest. He's driving the car. That is Terry Owens. Good to see you, man. Look at him. There he is. By the way, one of the biggest names in the security industry. So I'm pumped. I'm excited. Are you laughing at your own self, sir?
No, I'm laughing at you.
What? You are it. You are it. I swear to God. I believe in him and the children of the future, and you know, trying our best over here. So, but excited to be here. This is going to be great.
It's going to be a good game.
It's going to be fun. We're going to tailgate, so we got some brats and chips and a couple of adult beverages. So we are excited about that. But it really is about GSX today, and I'm just trying to figure out: is it worth it? Is it worth it for people to go? New people in the industry. What is it about that makes it important? Doesn't make it important? What was it that, you know, that you could possibly get out of it, or what you can't get out of it? And why not get it from a first timer, one that's not even in our industry yet?
I'm transitioning.
He's he's transitioning.
Currently.
So I'll get Roger to kind of introduce himself a little bit, and we'll go from there. We'll just take it away, see what's going to happen. All right, here we go. Hey, Roger DeLeon, good to see you, bud.
Hey. How's it going, boss?
Hey, you know, hanging out. So tell the folks out there a little bit about who you are and what you do. And, yeah.
So currently I'm in the military. I'm a U.S. Army officer. I'm a lieutenant colonel and transitioning to the civilian sector. And as you can see, I'm surrounded by professionals in the security industry currently, including the illustrious Carlos
the
Francisco.
magnanimous? Okay.
Illustrious Carlos Francisco.
Oh, wait a second, man. I'm sorry. Hi, Alex.
Hi.
Good to see you, bud. He's really the chief operating officer today for this trip, just so everybody knows. Thank you, Chief. All right. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Roger.
So I'm currently transitioning out of the military. I have roughly around a year left. And I've spoken to Carlos in depth about transitioning to the corporate security aspect of businesses, and I was basically told that I needed to attend GSX this year.
He was forced to go, just so everybody knows. But go ahead, continue.
Forced at gunpoint. Yes. No, I'm joking. It was a great experience. All the things that Carlos was telling me, which was, you know, it's good and dandy to have a fantastic resume, and if you look great on paper, that's basically it. You look great on paper, but the connections, the interactions that you have with people down in GSX, that's what's going to make you or break you. What I mean by that, it sets you apart from your peers. Because I'm not the only one transitioning from the military. I know that. There's other lieutenant colonels out there. Heck, there's other colonels and generals. But the contacts and the people, they're very friendly. They're there to invite you in and teach you what they know. That right there is invaluable. It was worth every minute, every penny. I highly suggest that if you're going to this industry, again, I'm not in it. I'm transitioning to it. This is the way to go. So this guy right here, Carlos, he knows what he's talking about.
Well, you're too nice. You're too nice, sir. I appreciate it. But that's one of the things that I try to explain to people, Roger, all the time. And it's like, if you want to get in this industry, one, you have to learn about it. So you got to be involved with it. And then you have to get out of your shell. A lot of times the military folks, law enforcement folks, don't really get out of their shell, and you gotta do that in order to create meaningful connections with folks. And I think that you were able to see that. Now, I know that while you were there, you attended a bunch of classes or courses, and
correct,
and you saw some people speak and everything. I know that there's a value to that. So we'll come back to the connections piece of it. But what were you able to see in the education piece of GSX that for a first timer, right, you thought that, man, if I would have gone there, I wouldn't have seen this and I wouldn't have known?
So some of the classes that I saw, for example, one that you taught was the security industry in 2033. You know, what is believed that this industry is going to be like 10 years from now. It does open people's eyes. It was very interesting. Why is that important? Because it really puts your mindset into preparing yourself for what the industry is going to be. So if you're transitioning in a year or 2 years or 3 years from now, it just behooves you to start studying what's coming down the pipeline. And especially in the military, we know this. Military folks know this all the time. Is be prepared for the next war, right? I'm not saying this is a war, but you're preparing yourself for the next enemy and what they bring in. And if you really want to consider transitioning into this industry, I don't mean it like it's a war, or enemy, but you're just preparing yourself. That's the only thing it is. Another class that I saw also was what industry leaders are looking for, especially with military, law enforcement, and that in itself, again, opened my eyes because, you know, us military folks, we come in, you know, dress, and how we speak, and, you know, we're kind of pigeon-toed on how we act with other people, right? Because we are peers amongst our profession. But in this industry, it's not I'm a warrior now, kicking down doors, cleaning rooms,
Right.
It's not like that. It's totally different. And I saw that immediately because, you know, as I walk in, everybody was friendly, everybody was inviting. The ones that kind of stuck out that were the sore thumb were I don't want to talk down about my branch, but it's the wannabe operators. And we know who we're talking about. Those guys stuck out at GSX, and it was like, why? There's no need for that here, guys.
Yeah.
You know? So.
No, I agree. And Terry, I know it wasn't too long ago for you, bud, that you kind of kicked this thing off too in your career coming out of law enforcement. So we have a view from the military side of things and now from the law enforcement side of things. And it doesn't matter, by the way, everybody, if you're law enforcement or military, you got to get out to this thing. But do you have kind of like a different point of view or a different thing? What is it that you experienced too, man, in your first time a couple of years ago when we headed out there? I know we had a great time, but what was there some things that just stuck out to you?
Well, the first time you go, it's very overwhelming. There's just so much there.
Oh God, yeah.
And I mean, between all the classes and all the vendors, I mean, it's just all over the place. And so you have a hard time grasping kind of what the security industry is. And really, you don't realize how big the security industry is until you go to an event like that. And you're like, holy crap, there are a lot of people here.
Right.
And now as being there, having gone again, you know, I was able to focus a lot more on the education piece and feel a lot more comfortable with what I'm supposed to be doing. You know, what classes do I want to take versus what classes do I think are just not a fit for me. So I think that especially that second year around is much more in tune with what the industry, what you can do to help yourself in the industry.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's interesting. Even for me in my first times that